It was a pleasure diving into the mysteries and conspiracies surrounding the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. As we continue to explore the complex legal history surrounding his death, we now turn to some of the most significant lawsuit and court cases that have emerged over the years. These battles aim to uncover the truth about the forces behind the assassination, challenging official narratives and highlighting the legal struggles for justice. This is Strawberry Ink, and I am your host, Santiago. Over the years, various conspiracy theories have emerged regarding the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, with accusations pointing to the mafia, Cuban exiles, and even the U.S. government. Legal challenges have sought to expose whether a formal or informal conspiracy led to the murder. One of the most famous cases was the Jim Garrison trial in the 1960s, where the New Orleans district attorney attempted to prosecute Clay Shaw for conspiracy, linking him to a plot involving the CIA and anti-Castro Cubans. However, Garrison's case ended in an acquittal, and Shaw's involvement remains disputed. Lawsuits filed by authors and researchers like Mark Lane further questioned government involvement, but none resulted in criminal convictions. Despite this, the ongoing legal and public inquiries show the deep impact of conspiracy theories on our historical understanding of the event. In the aftermath of JFK's assassination, New Orleans District Attorney Jim Garrison launched an investigation into the conspiracy theories surrounding the event. Garrison connected Clay Shaw, a prominent businessman and director of the International Trade Mart of New Orleans, to the alleged plot. Shaw's ties to the government were pivotal in Garrison's criminal probe, which led to Shaw being in charge of conspiracy to commit murder. After presenting the evidence to a grand jury, Garrison secured an indictment for Shaw, and on March 1st, 1967, Shaw was arrested at his office. He was brought before Judge Bernard Baggert for his first appearance in Orleans Parish Criminal Court, where he pleaded not guilty. Shaw hired private defense attorney Dean Andrews and refused to seek a plea deal, maintaining his innocence throughout the legal proceedings. Ultimately, the trial was assigned to Judge Edward Haggerty, and after a lengthy trial, Shaw was acquitted by a jury. Shaw was free, but the legal battle didn't end there. After his acquittal in 1969, Clay Shaw filed a lawsuit against Jim Garrison, accusing the district attorney of malicious prosecution. Shaw argued that Garrison had pursued the case without probable cause, damaging his reputation and health. Shaw sought $10 million in damages for the toll it took in his life. The lawsuit was filed in 1971, with Shaw being represented by New Orleans lawyer Edward Wegman, and Garrison being defended by Louisiana attorney William Leach. The initial hearing was held in 1971 before federal judge Frank Capolozola in the New Orleans Federal Court. The case was then assigned to Judge Herbert Christenberry, who eventually referred it to the United States Supreme Court. In 1978, the Supreme Court dismissed the case due to a lack of evidence, and by this point, Shaw had passed away from lung cancer. On August 15, 1974, with Shaw's death, the case was declared moot and no appeals followed. Mark Lane, another key figure in challenging the official narrative, filed a lawsuit against Random House Inc. in 1968. Lane, who had long advocated for a new investigation into the JFK assassination, sought $10 million in damages. The case was heard by Judge Royce Lambert in the United States District Court for the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. Representing Lane was attorney Mark Davidson, while Henry Huberman, another attorney, defended the Random House. In a notable ruling, Judge Lambert dismissed the case without trial, siding with Random House. Despite Lane's appeals, the Supreme Court refused to hear the case, leaving Lane without recourse. The legal struggle further underscored the tension between personal rights and the interests of state authorities during the volatile period after JFK's death. These lawsuits, though they didn't lead to convictions or revelations of criminal conspiracy, highlight the ongoing quest for justice and truth in the wake of JFK's assassination. The impact of conspiracy theories and the legal challenges that followed continue to shape the historical narrative around that fateful day. Whether or not the courts will ever substantiate the claims remains an open question, but the echoes of these battles persist in the collective memory of the American public. That was the end of the episode. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Strawberry Ink. We hope you've gained deeper insight into the tangled web of conspiracy theories and legal battles that continue to haunt the legacy of President John F. Kennedy's assassination. Stay tuned for our next episode. I hope you enjoyed. Please share it to your loved ones. Please follow the show. And have a good rest of your day.